everyone, good morning. And for this one, I'm going to actually record this in English because this is about the developer guide for Axie Infinity, and I think there might be some audience who would like to understand what I'm saying. Okay, so let's take a look at the Axie Infinity Builders Program. So this one, guys, is actually very important because this will allow other developers outside of the Sky Mavis team to create mini games that will make use of our existing Axie assets. So as you can see here, it's mentioned that this will allow developers to build Axie alongside the community. This will therefore allow the release of many mini games, and it's not going to be boring because there will be a lot of selections already for those who are Axie holders or Axie scholars. And it is going, of course, to be on top of the existing Axie Infinity structure. There's also a click here already for apply now, but we're going to take a look at that later on. I'm assuming that if you're a developer, of course, you have technical know-how and you know how to do these things. So before clicking on apply now, let's just take a look quickly at the background. According to this letter or email from Sky Mavis, community co-creation is a guiding North Star of the Axie Infinity ecosystem. Why is that? Because as you know, Sky Mavis team is actually very focused on growing the economy, providing more value to the gamers, but they're not probably doing it as fast as they want. So therefore, they need help from the community as well to develop and come up with other games that will entice more investors to put some money into Axie. It is going to be a fundamental driver to a scaled value generation over time. So, of course, there should be new gaming experiences and tools. And then Sky Mavis will ensure that their risk is not going to be bad. And then for the benefits, so teams are going to be chosen, and if you are chosen as part of the program, you're going to receive a grant, and that grant is around $5,000 in AXS. And for this total program that they're going to launch, it's actually valued at around 400,000 USD. So there will be probably it could be 10 to 20 developer teams. And then aside from that, they're also going to provide guidance from the Sky Mavis engineering team, game design and products, and they will have exclusive access to the integration such as the Ronin single sign-on. So this is the wallet. And then the Ronin network testnet. And of course, if you're one of the lucky developer team that will be chosen, there will be a promotion of the project by Sky Mavis to its community. Monetization of the project is allowed and encouraged, but there are certain guidelines that should be followed. So the first is that if you're going to monetize the project, the payment to the players should be in SLP or AXS, whether it's payment by the players or payment to the players. It should always be in the token recognized already by Sky Mavis. And then there should be a burning mechanism. So as you can see here, it's indicated that at least 10% of all the revenue must be burned, or it should go into the community treasury for the AXS. The Sky Mavis team will help advise on the monetization models. So some example of the model ideas include the entry fee funded prices, wherein for you to be able to play PvP, you must pay for entry fees in SLP or AXS, and then it will go into a pool. So this is like a betting game. I believe that there are lots of suggestions from the community toward this concept so that there will be more chances to earn more. And then for the leaderboard winners, this is one of the key concepts in gaming. So players pay SLP AXS into a pool to do a ranked run of the game, and then try to get their best score. And at the end of each day, the players with the best scores will win part of the pool. So that's actually a good concept as well. But you have if you're going to be a player and you will join this game, then you have to ensure that you have strong Axies. Otherwise, you're just going to lose your SLP and AXS that you put in the pool. And then another monetization model is that new tokens or NFTs. Players pay with SLP or AXS for new tokens, NFTs that can be obtained in the game. So it's allowed that other tokens are used as long as the players will primarily take a look at the SLP and AXS. Okay, so guys, this is the Axie Infinity Builders Program application. So let's see how to fill it out. So click start and then you have to type your full name. So this is just a sample. So I just keyed in CTVM or Chunchun TV Manager and then my email address. But of course, if you're doing it and you are very serious about application, make sure that all of the information provided here is correct. And then for the Twitter handle, this is optional. But of course, it's very important that you should declare this. And then for the Discord handle as well. So the values that I'm putting in here are just, they're not real because I'm just doing this for the demonstration. So for the Ronin address, I'm putting this value. And then this is the important part. So it's like creating your white paper. So wherein you have to describe your project and its goals. So for me, I just put in mini game like Candy Crush, but there are other concepts. How will the project benefit the Axie Infinity ecosystem? So this is very important because for you to be given a grant, you need to ensure that it has a good impact to the ecosystem. So right now, I'm just putting in burning mechanism, but if you're serious about your application, make sure that you answer in complete sentences and of course in English. Because most of the players understand, most of the development team understand English, and there might be very few Filipino team members there. So for the number of report resources, I put in 10 because the more number of people working on it, the more that they're gonna see that you're committed to the project. And then here, you have to describe the team members that will be working on the project and their professional background. So this one is very important because it will help them assess if your team is actually capable of delivering a mini game or a big game. So here I'm putting in CTVM, so that's me. I'm a developer. That's not true, but this is just an example. It's a developer with experience on API connections. You can also indicate here the languages, how long you've been doing programming, the stacks that you use for the development, etc. And then, very important that you also have a marketing team or someone who will help proliferate or inform the public about what you're doing. And then, of course, the commitment level has to be assessed. So that's why there's a question here related to that. And I'm going to declare here that this is a full-time project and we intend to release it in 4 months. And of course, to release that in 4 months, how many hours a week are you going to work on the project? So expected total hours, not hours, in a week is around 200 hours. Perhaps I could key that in, but the more, the better, just as long as it's mathematically correct. And then click OK. So we get to the next question. How much monetary investment will you or your organization be aiming to put into this project? So this one, this is also going to be evaluated because if there's no investment from your end, then that means that perhaps it will be very easy for you to drop the project. So that's why if you put in some value here, which should be verifiable, then the higher the number, I think the more belief they'll have in you that you're going to execute the project. And then the challenges or obstacles facing your team right now, and what are your most important needs. So here I indicated I need additional funds. That's why we would like to be selected for the grant so we can onboard more developers, and more developers mean that the project will be delivered faster. What would you like help on from the SkyMabis team? So of course, guidance on the integrations, perhaps marketing as well, graphics, the design, because as much as possible, it should still be identifiable to the SkyMabis brand. And then they're going to ask you what will be the monetization model, if any. So I'm putting here there will be a leaderboard and a daily quest. Rewards will depend on how many players will be joining, and we'd also allow ads on our game. So that is a big question there. I'm not sure what the overall direction of Sky Mavis is, if they're allowing ads to be put into their game. So if you know that this is not allowed, then do not put that there, because it's not going to be aligned with their strategies. And then, when are you aiming to launch the product? So I answered this early on, but you can still put it in here. So May 31, 2021. And then, if applicable, list any Sky Mavis or Axie DAO team members that can be your reference. Of course, none at the moment, but I follow you on Twitter. So you can mention who you follow. You follow Jiho, some leaders, etc. And then, at this point, I'm not going to click OK, because I believe that... sorry, we can still continue. And then there are going to be some technical questions here, like what coding languages and tech stack will be used to build the experience. So I'm indicating here just some random items like Java, OutSystems, Appian, other programming languages. So it depends on the development team that you have. Indicate all of them that you think is applicable. And then, what platforms will the project be accessible on? So I'm suggesting Android, but there should be a roadmap for the project. So I'm indicating here that in 6 months, it will also be released to iOS, because there are a lot of iOS users as well, not only here in the Philippines, but globally. And then, please upload any specs and designs for the project so far. So guys, you can see here that this is like creating your own white paper, except that you are guided by the questions that they provided. So this is the last screen that I'm going to show you here. I'm not sure if there's another one, but I don't want to put a file in here. But if you have a white paper that you already created, it's very important to attach it here. If you have some artwork, then that will also be good and will help them in the evaluation if they should select you as a development partner. Okay, so let's go back to the email coming from Sky Mavis. So what's the evaluation criteria? I filled out the form correctly and completely, but how will I get selected? So the critical thing here, guys, is that there should be alignment. So culture, goals, and mindset should be aligned with Sky Mavis team. And then evaluation of how fun and engaging their experience would be for the community. So the game that you should be proposing should be very fun and interesting to play. Otherwise, no one would bother to play a very boring game. And then there will be an engineering assessment regarding the feasibility of the project and the technical talent of the team. So for example, you mentioned that you want to build this very complex game, and yet there's only one developer. So that's going to pose some very serious challenges to the delivery of the game. And then, of course, the potential positive impact to the Axie Infinity community and economy will also be assessed. And the commitment to the project, guys, don't forget that. That's why I mentioned earlier that I'm putting in 200 hours per week. So that will somehow give them the assurance that I might as well be working 24/7 on this project. What resources and the time is looking to invest into it. So this is very important to them, because they don't want a project that is half-baked or something that you will drop towards the end of the project. When they do the investment, they want that there will be some fruits delivered for it. And then trust in the developers to not abuse their exclusive access privileges. So remember that they're going to be exposing a lot of technology to the team. So that includes the different integrations, etc. So they should, the team should be trustworthy enough to be selected. And then for the timeline, so the Sky Mavis team is going to review the applications on an ongoing basis and selecting new teams to enter the program over time. And they're saying here that they're not gonna accept a lot of teams to start because this is just a new program. And of course, there will also be some resource challenges from their end. Who's gonna review your project? Who's gonna sit down with you to shoot ideas, etc. And then here are some of the example project ideas that they're showing. So you can get some insights already here if you want to do these developments. But chances are a lot of the developers who will apply already have this in mind as well. So it will be to your advantage if you will come up with something unique. So you can see here, Axie, Tamagotchi, Bomberman, Tower Defense, Racing is actually very popular as well. So try to come up with something unique and easy to play and, of course, fun and engaging. And then there are public tools and resources. That's what the team is saying. So even if you're not going to be selected in the first run, there are third-party APIs by Explorer that you can already access. So you can still build, and then later on, if you have mockups already, perhaps you may still contact them through Discord or Twitter or other social media channels. And then this part here is, of course, on the disclaimer side. I leave it to you guys to check on this portion. So if you're very serious about it, you need to read this because this could be a game changer for you. So they're saying that this is an experimental program that could change at any time. And of course, the terms of service is very important, plus the code of conduct and any other form of abuse that may affect the Axie Infinity ecosystem. That's definitely a no-no. Okay, here it's just showing the Axie ownership and Ronin wallets. Okay, so forming a project team. So here you will see that a new channel in the Axie Infinity Discord. So that's why they're asking for your Discord handle, because they're perhaps gonna watch out for you on that. They're gonna check if you're already a member of their Discord, and then they can add you to this specific channel later on. So there you go, guys. They're also open to feedback. If you are a developer and you think that there are some other items that are missed here, then feel free to just contact them. There's a Builders Program feedback form. And of course, they want to build together. So what does it mean, guys, for all of us investors, scholars, managers? It actually means that once this is launched successfully, there might be other mini games that will be available for us to download, and that means that it could potentially attract more investors and more gamers to join the Axie Infinity ecosystem, and there might also be other revenue models. Okay, so that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed our very first English session here on Chunchun TV Manager. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please click subscribe. And this is Manager signing off. Thank you. Bye.